Bit of a strange day today in the Tour de France Femmes. We did have more descent attacks from the usual suspects. Justine Herkira on repair duties from Clermont-Ferrand to Ambert. We're getting into the mountains. It's a medium mountain stage, although we do have more or less a 20-kilometer, 4.5 to 5% climb, the Col du Béal. That's followed by another category 2, the Col de Chanceur, which is also moderate. Then the Val Sevier with a bonus sprint on top before a plateau and descent. So a pretty good stage finish for the winner of the sprint before Kim Leclerc-Pinard. But in the breakaway, we had a dangerous break. Amber Crux in there with Elise Chaby. She's on a minute. She's the best placed on GC. She's also there for QOM points, so she's going for all of them. And she's got the teammate, Amber Crux, to pull. So right now for Chaby and FDJ Suez, this is perfect. Teammate in front pulling, best placed in front, and the other GC teams, they have to control and do some work. On that first climb, or longer climb rather, the Category 1, Vibes was dropped. Brody Chapman actually rolls Chaby on the sprint on one of the Category 4 climbs, the Côte d'Aguerol. But this stage with the descent finish, it's good for Kim Leclerc-Pinard because she's the fastest of anybody, not including Vos, who probably won't make it. But not so good for Sarah Gigante, who struggles a little bit on the descents, but is their best pure climber. Chaby doesn't get any cooperation after her teammate Krak is dropped. She invests a lot of energy to keep this break going. Van der Velde starts pulling for AG Insurance Soudal. So for FDJ Suez with Vos dropped, it's a little bit strange because why is Chaby investing so much on the uphill sprints for the QOMs and the breakaway that's not cooperating with her, whilst this is an opportunity and a stage to take time on Sarah Gigante, who probably at worst is the second best climber in this race and is only on like 30 seconds to Vollering after the first 5 stages. On that descent though, big splits. Kerbaol and Niewiadoma have other ideas. They do want to put pressure on there. They get a gap to Anna van der Breggen. They go full on that descent. Bit nerve-wracking at times from Kerbaol, who misses a corner or two. Cassia, I think, technically is a little bit better, I must say, although maybe takes a few less risks. But where are they going to go? I mean, Niewiadoma has a teammate in front, Paladin, from the breakaway. Not far in front, but it's a pretty big group behind. But what's the damage to Gigante or the other weaker descending GC riders? There's Paladin in front. Kerbaol doesn't have a teammate in front. She's looking back to see what the group size is, what's the damage. Vollering is there with a teammate. So for FDJ Suez, still totally fine situation. No Ferrand-Prévot, no yellow jersey, no Sarah Gigante. And we see that the yellow jersey and Ferrand-Prévot are in the background. So they're, unless the GC leader attacks like a Vollering here, I mean, it's a 5% climb, 5.5% climb. Are you really going to go 35Ks to the finish and keep them on a 3-4 second gap with Justine Herkira doing a heroic job pulling Kim Leclerc-Pinard and Fisher Black back? No, you're not going to keep them behind. But Sarah Gigante was on a real gap, like 30 seconds. She was with the white jersey group at one point. But FDJ never took over. There's a lack of control. Gigante came back, and as she's come back then, I think Balenfine tried once. Maeve Squibon goes full gas for UAE ADQ, a really hard attack after Mavi Garcia had tried to get away. So her timing was perfect. She was also incredibly strong. She takes a minute on this climb where they basically ride 5 across, and everyone recovers after that descent shenanigans. And we've got another one coming up. So we've got another descent that could prove pivotal before another 4.5K, 5% climb. Chaby takes the QM points behind the ones remaining behind Squibon. And we're about to see how good a descender is Squibon. Is she going to lose 30 seconds back? The answer was no. I mean, it didn't look perfect at all times, but she descended fast. I mean, Chaby was pushing, and Squibon basically held the same time gap on the entirety of that descent before Val Sevier. So she did a fast descent solo, but Justine Herkira, she's on cleanup duties at the back again. Kim Leclerc-Pinard wasn't gapped on that descent. It was less technical and impactful as the one before off the Béal, but Gigante's dropped again. She's dropped on that descent. They know she's their best climber, and so Justine Herkira repairs that damage. And FDJ Suez, they had taken over at this point with Chaby, but she's been in the breakaway sprinting uphill all day, and they're not going to keep Gigante behind. So was this an opportunity missed by the other GC contenders? Are they underestimating Sarah Gigante? Now, I know I don't cover the Giro on this channel, but in the Giro, women, Gigante just torched everybody uphill. Like on the long mountaintop finishes, she did some mega climbing performances. So I wouldn't let her get to the Madeleine for free. Kim Lecourt-Pinard takes the 4 bonies that were available behind Squibon. Niewiadoma 2. There are a few little splits that do get sewn up. No one wants to relay. KLCP didn't want to relay with Niewiadoma, who did want to continue. Royaka's counters. Niewiadoma has been very active. She manages that. Vollering's been quite conservative, which I think is not a bad idea. I mean, the Madeleine is where minutes will matter, not seconds. But Lebu attacks. She's on like a minute plus on GC, so no one really cares. Also, the stage win's not in play anymore because Squibon's got a minute 24 gap, so Gigante just controls that gap, although she was put on a gap on the descent and then comes back again. But Squibon, first French winner at this edition of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Big win for her, well deserved. She's a very attacking, aggressive rider, and in the sprint behind it was another French rider, 1-2. Lebu takes second, a few seconds over KLCP. So a francophone 1-2-3. Squibon winning, Lebu second, KLCP third, leading out the group. So actually, in terms of GC, no real gaps today between the big guns, although we do have another downhill finish tomorrow. Here's what Squibon had to say after the stage.
Yes, it's really an amazing feeling. I didn't expect to do that. I know we had a strong team. We are only 4 now, but we were all really strong, and we know that we were able to do something big today, and finally we did it. So yeah, it's just a special day for us.
As I said, still small gaps mostly amongst the top 10. 3 FDJ Suez riders in the top 11, Music and Lebu, so they're keeping them pretty close. But Ferrand-Prévot, she's mainly a few bonies ahead of Niewiadoma and Vollering with KLCP. I mean, we're about to see how her climbing is. Maybe not tomorrow, she should still be fine, but the Madeleine, if she takes a lead of 30 seconds, she'll be thinking she can win this year's Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you with the recap of the Granier stage long downhill finish tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.